Gunshots, gunshots, gunshots. This was about Julio Foolio's alleged killer's investigation and arrest breakdown. I'm gonna break this down. We have the three youngins on the screen. We're gonna break this down. I'm almost at 100,000 subscribers. I know y'all loving the content. I'm loving to bring the content. I'm just asking y'all to subscribe. We 300 subscribers short of 100,000. Let's get this thing moving. I know y'all ready to do the 100,000 celebration with the plaque. So let's get it going. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Hit the notification bell. If you're already subscribed, hit the notification bell. All right. You know what it is. Unique Mecca Audio, man. Like I said, this is a breakdown of Julio Foolio's alleged killer's investigation, arrest breakdown. Hit the subscribe button, man. Let's get this thing popping. Hit the subscribe button and hit the notification button. Definitely hit the notification with that. And if you're already subscribed, hit the notification button. June 26th, only 3 days after Julio Foolio was murdered, Jacksonville sheriff observed a gold SUV speeding with dark tinted windows. Patrol lights was activated on the unmarked police car. Now, just so you understand, we're going to ride early. I know y'all be like, we're going to ride early. We're going to ride early. Because, you know, I want y'all to understand the breakdown on how these people work. So hopefully it'll deter the youngins from wanting to go down that path. Now, I'm going to take you back to 1992. 1992, when they wanted to know who Unique Mecca Audio was. Mecca Audio was popping, all the rappers coming up there on 8th Avenue, 151st, between 51st and 52nd. You know, all luxury cars. We up at Club 2000. We doing our thing. We the talk of the East Coast at the time. They wanted to know who I was. So what they did is they pulled me over. I was in a burgundy Mazda Protege, the same color as his hat. That's why I chose to wear the burgundy Mac, you know. Now, they pulled me over, and I had a little roach. I wish I had one to show you. I had a little roach maybe this big in the car, in the ashtray. And this is 1992. They wasn't messing with no weed and all that, because they done pulled me over with 5 pounds of weed up on 155th Street in St. Nick and dumped out the 5 pounds and told me get my black ass out of there. You know what I mean? So now I got a little joint. They pull me over. They take me to the police station. They hit my fingerprints. You know, after they hit the fingerprints, they ID me. They do all of that, and then they let me go. And then a year later, that was August 92. And then a year and a half later, in December 1993, they roll up with a warrant. When they rolled up on December 10th with a warrant, they pulled me over. I gave them a fake ID. When I gave them the fake ID, they looked at it, they threw it to the side. They said, we know who you are, Unique. You know what I mean? But yet, they bring over the detective that pulled me over 18 months prior to identify me because they didn't know who I was. Pay attention. This is going to play in with what's going on right now with Sean Gothright and this gold SUV. So they just wanted to know who I was so they could do whatever. When they took me in, of course, I didn't give them no statements, so they let me go. So it took them another 18 months to do the investigation. Now, they pull over Sean Gothright in the gold SUV, tinted windows, allegedly speeding, said they smelled the smell of marijuana. And, you know, when they asked him to step out, he identified himself as Sean Gothright. The detective said that they smelled marijuana, so that was the probable cause. You know, marijuana legal now all up and down, you know, United States. They're going everywhere, almost. But you know what I mean? Because we know we're going to get, you know what I mean? The rat bastards complaining and all that, you know, and trying to look for things to nitpick. Now, dude Gothright said he wasn't smoking and he had no smoke, right? Sean was asked to step out of the vehicle, and he stepped to the back of the car while the police searched inside. They found a small bag with weed residue and mushrooms, probable cause. That was enough to take him in. Pay attention to what's going on, because ain't nobody else going to give you this. I've been through it, lived it, I know what it is, and I'm doing the prison cell behind me because that's where these three youngins is at right now. So now this is equivalent to a prevention of a prison story. We're trying to prevent you from being a prison story on Unique Mecca Audio or any other platform. A Glock 19 was found in the center console, and in the back seat, they found several bags of ammunition and gun paraphernalia. See, we get comfortable, you know what I mean, when we on the street, right? And that's what this is. Now, he's driving around and he got ammunition and all of this on the back seat. It wasn't even hidden because this was the day-to-day life of being a stepper in the street. That's what it is. So now he got lazy, didn't put the stuff up. They seen it, of course, by them saying in the back seat. That means that it was in plain view, so that's the probable cause for them to roll on him. Sean was arrested and taken into custody and then questioned the very next day, Jacksonville. Now, he was taken into custody and questioned. Pay attention to the timeline. I'm going to walk you through it. We ain't going to waste no time with this. We're going to get right to the point, right? Sean was arrested and taken into custody, right? And questioned. Boom. That was on June 26th, the very next day, right? Now, the very next day, Jacksonville sheriff would receive what they called actionable intelligence in reference to a conspiracy to commit murder. So you know how that looks, Sean. I'm just keeping it 100, so y'all pay attention. I don't put no bones on anybody, but I know how these people play out. When they arrested me in that Burgundy Protege with the stash and all that, they didn't find nothing except for a little roach, but that was enough to get my picture and try to see if they could squeeze me and to test my temperament if I was willing to talk. So now when they arrested him with a Glock 19 back in June 26, here it is, a month later, and he's out because they pull him over. You know, this is crazy, right? Now, right, so Sean was arrested, like I said, taken into custody, and the very next day, Jacksonville sheriff would receive actionable intelligence in reference to a conspiracy to commit murder. Based on the information, right? Based on the information, a search warrant was obtained and immediately executed, right? Detectives went to the home on in the north side of Jacksonville. So when they rode up to the house on north side of Jacksonville, that's the video that everybody's playing that I'm not going to play because I don't know how they're going to look at it. Old gangster like me playing something like that. So I'm just going to give you all the narrative of what's happening and how this is breaking down. They were informed that 21-year-old Alicia Andrews and 21-year-old Isaiah Chance Jr. and a baby was inside. Surrounding the house, detectives began giving verbal commands over a PA system to let them know to come out. It took 15 to 20 minutes before they finally came out. Alicia Andrews came out, you know, with no shoes on. And then, you know, Isaiah came out with his flip-flops on. Now, right, they came out and they was apprehended without incident, right? But then now, 3 days later, right, on Monday, July 29th, the Tampa police chief and the sheriff from Jacksonville Police Department and the Hillsborough County State's attorney, they would announce that they had 3 arrests in Julio Foolio's death. Pay attention now. The 3 charges, right? The 3 was charged with conspiracy to commit murder, but Sean was charged with conspiracy to commit attempt murder. Now, this is where I'm going to break this down. Y'all have to pay attention. I don't want to be on here all day. I don't want to slow down the dialogue. I want to get right to the point. Y'all been watching me long enough to understand. So, like I said, the 3 was charged with conspiracy to commit murder and first-degree murder. They just charged with Julio Foolio's murder. That's what the other 2 is charged with, right? Isaiah and Andrews. Pay attention. I'm going to ride. We're going to go for a ride. Let's go for a legal ride real quick, right? Because I've been through all this crap. The 3 was arrested. The 2, Andrews and Chance, they was charged with the murder of Julio Foolio and the conspiracy to murder of Julio Foolio. But then Sean Garthright, who was arrested on June 26, you know, pulled over for the smell of marijuana, speeding, gold vehicle, tinted windows. You know how all that played out. They also hit him with additional 3 counts of attempt premeditated murder. Attempt. Remember that word. He's the only one charged with the attempt of premeditated murder. So he's the only one charged with attempted to kill the other 3 passengers that was in the car. Pay attention, share this video. We need 100,000 subs. We only need 300 more. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. I'm even going to tell you, I don't even want you. I don't want the trolls and rat bastards, because I done deleted over 100,000 already. So we're going to take the trolls off. But the people that want to know about the street, want to know about what it's like to be a gangster, and want to prevent the youth from going out there, and the youth that's trying to prevent themselves from going out there, I'm asking you to subscribe. I just need 300 more of you. Now, let's keep this going. Now, that was on Monday, July 29th, right? The Tampa police, they did all that with the Hillsborough County police attorney. They announced what was going on. The 3 was charged with conspiracy to commit first-degree murder and first-degree murder. But Sean Gothright was charged, right, with additional 3 counts of attempt premeditated murder with a firearm and tampering with evidence. Now, pay attention now. Pay attention. We're not stupid. You know what I mean? We're not stupid. I've been through it. Y'all just don't know because you haven't been through it. Thank God. And let's give you a round of applause for not going through what I went through. Let's give you all a round of applause. All right? Y'all definitely deserve a round of applause for not going through what I went through. Now, Sean was charged with additional 3 counts of attempt premeditated murder with a firearm and tampering with evidence, right? 1 count, right? Now check this out. These are the 3 counts. 1 was count 1 of murder in the first degree and premeditated firearm discharge. You understand? Pay attention, right? Count 1 of murder in the first degree and premeditated firearm discharge. So they saying that he was the shooter. So they saying that Andrews and Chance, they was in the second car that they spoke about that drove by Foolio's car at the entrance, twice, as they said, allegedly confirming that he was in it. That was Andrews and Chance. They saying that Gothright was in the car with the other 2 brothers, that one got caught yesterday. I don't know if the 5th one got caught or not, but I know the 4th one that got caught, there was 1 more out. So they saying that Gothright and the other 2 cousins, they was the ones that was in the second car that was the shooter, that was driving around the artillery. And Andrews and Chance, they went to the Airbnb. They went to the after party. They went to the hotel. They was going everywhere. They got out. They got on the phone. They made phone calls. Now I want y'all to pay attention to this. We're going to get back to this joint. We riding. Now, this is the way this work, right? I found this out, this technology. When I was locked up, I used to watch stuff like Investigation Discovery. That's IDTV. I suggest all y'all watch IDTV. I don't like 48 Hours because 48 Hours, within the first 20 minutes of doggone near every program, someone is in the investigation room telling, but IDTV show you how they use surveillance. Now, the way they use surveillance on these 2 young people is, they said that we was at the Airbnb and they got out, made a phone call. They're going to track where that phone call went to. Then they're going to track the number by getting the wiretap to the number that the phone call went to and see who he called. Then they're going to track his number and see who he called. And everybody's caught up. So it don't matter who was out of state, who wasn't in the area, who was back in Jacksonville, or if they was in Puerto Rico or Cuba. If they called and they tapped that phone and they seen that these 2 people called those people at any time, or the shooters in the cars called anyone at any time, they're going to track those, and that's how they're going to link them together with what they call phone records and GPS navigation. Do you know that they from your phone, they even know when the car is moving and when it stopped? You know what I mean? So you can't say, I was driving down a highway. They'd be like, nope, you was parked on the side of the road when you took the call and gave the order to do the hit. This is how they play the games. So pay attention, y'all, right? So now, they use that because, like I said, they said those 2, Andrews and Chance, was scoping out the scene and calling the hitters, alleged hitters, to come in and hit. But now, on June 26th, when they locked up, Sean Gothright, once they locked him up, the next day they had warrants. You know what I mean? So you know what that looks like and what they saying. I'm just reporting the news. Now, Gothright was also charged with 3 counts of attempt murder in the first degree and premeditated discharge of a firearm. Did you hear that? 3 counts of attempt murder, right? 3 counts of attempt murder in the first degree and premeditated murder. Then he was also charged. Now, let me explain that one for you. I got to one at a time because I know this is all new to you. The reason why he was charged with the first degree murder and premeditated firearm discharge, that's not looking good. The reason for them to do that is because he allegedly told them what happened and that he fired the gun, and he admitted to discharging the gun is what they're saying for them to say that he discharged the gun. You know what I mean? So that's where they're gonna try and go at with that. Because they wouldn't have known the other 2 young men's name who was there. Everybody was masked up, so they making it look like this young man, Sean Gothright, is allegedly, the one that gave them all the information, and he was the first one to get picked up 3 days after the incident on June 26th. So now we have that down packed. Then they also charged them with 1 count of conspiracy to murder in the first degree and premeditated firearm discharge. Premeditated meaning you planned to discharge the gun. You went out saying, I'm going to bust this gun. You know what I mean? So that's premeditated. It's planned. You know what I mean? To discharge, right? The firearm. Then they charged him with 3 counts of attempt murder in the first degree. This is the one y'all need to pay attention to. We're going to ride with this. You know what I mean? Now, so they have Andrews and Chance as the lookout drivers, scoping out the area and making a phone call to the alleged hitters. So now they wasn't charged with the attempt murder, but they charging Gothright with the attempt murder for the 3. If you notice, they didn't give the other 2 cousins a charge yet. They're going to wait till they pick them up. When they pick them up, they're going to see if they're going to fold and give them any information that they could use against them. Because all of this sounds, like Gothright gave them information that they used against them. That's why I tell you to cop the shirts, shut the F up, you have the right to remain silent. When you get picked up, you're on the street, shut the F up. Whatever you say can and will be used against you. The police tell you that right out of his mouth, so you know what time it is. All right? So he obviously, talked himself into a pickle that he's not going to be able to get out of, but he's 18, never been there, never done that. He just was busting his gun on the street, and I take the responsibility, part of that responsibility, because me as an elder was not here because we got hoodwinked and fell into the war on drugs and the mandatory minimum and spent over 2 and 3 decades in federal prison to not be able to raise our babies. I looked at the 2 young men, right? Let me ride a little bit. I looked at the 2 young men, the cousins that's on the run. They say they the elders in the group, and they like 31, 32. They was born in 94 and 97. 94, I was in Lewisburg, allegedly stabbing 2 police. You know what I mean? 97, I was in ADX for allegedly stabbing those 2 police. And these kids was born. And then now here it is, 30 years later, I come home and I'm seeing what happened to the babies that wasn't even born when I was out there. So imagine what goes through my mind trying to figure this out. Y'all paying attention to this? They the elders in their 30s. And they say, oh, they older, they must have did this and that. They wasn't even born while I was doing my time, much less when I was on the street. So that's why I'm trying to reach out so y'all understand. And y'all make sure Young and Ace get this. Young and Ace, so you understand. If you was in contact with any one of these 3 people on the night of the incident, they're going to bag you. So whatever money you have, whatever materialistic things you have, if that was me, can't tell a man what to do because I'm not a part of this conspiracy, but if that was me and I was in that situation, from what I know now, I would sell everything and look for a non-extraditable country like Cuba. You know what I mean? Or Russia. And you know what I mean? And take the bag and go try and live happily after. But you stay in Jacksonville, you stay in America, they will get you, because any phone call linking you to these 5 people on the night of the incident or in that surrounding time, they're going to pull that in, and they can say anything was said on that phone and you can't dispute it, because the phone records show that they called from A to B. They're going to say that they told you we got a line on them. Should we do it now, boss? Should we do it now, boss? And they're going to say you said no. That's the way it worked, and they're going to say that you ordered the hit at the hotel. Just from a phone call connection. So that's why I tell you youngins out there, contact me. You understand what I'm saying? And, you know, we do one-on-one counseling to try and prevent you from going down that path and, you know, hopefully get you off the path if you're on the path and enlighten you on what's to come, because I've been there and I've done that. As good as I look, I'm 60. You know what I mean? I was running the streets in New York and up and down the East Coast since in the 70s. So, and I've been in and out of prison, so I know all these games. Andrews and Chance was the drivers, allegedly circling the neighborhood that went past the car twice, and then they called Garthright and whatever. They figured Garthright was the youngest. He was the easiest to catch. They pulled him over in a gold SUV on June 26th, got him out the car, got him down to the station, investigated him. Whatever he allegedly told them is what they used to get the warrant that they just executed over the weekend when they picked them up. Because how do they know that a baby is in the house? Ask yourself that. They said that it's Isaiah and Alicia's in the house with a baby. How do they know this? And they didn't even know where they were. I mean, come on, all right? So we got the 3 counts of attempt murder in the first degree and premeditated, discharge of a firearm. 1 count of tampering with physical evidence. So if they got him with tampering with physical evidence, right? That means 2 things, right? To give them the benefit of the doubt. 1, the physical evidence could have been the gun paraphernalia they said they found in the car, like the parts of the gun. That's maybe something they felt was matched up, with the actual murder weapon. Or 2, he told them what he did after the crime with whatever they considered as physical evidence that was a part of the Julio Foolio demise. That's the tampering with evidence. It's either from the stuff that was in the car or he told them about it. It's not looking good, but, y'all need to really pay attention to all this that's going on and everything that I'm saying. Go back and look at my previous videos. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. We at 99,794, something like that. We need 300 more. Y'all watching? Let's get this thing moving. Now, right? The 3 counts of attempt murder in the first degree and the premeditated discharge, right? Now, if you notice, they charged them with, not just first degree murder, conspiracy to murder. The reason why they do that is, right? If they even charged the 2 that was in the car, they know they probably not going to get the 2 that was scoping out Andrews and Chance for the actual murder, but that's enough to scare the crap out of them. Tell them you're looking at death penalty. You're going to die. You're better off dying in prison. If you cooperate, we'll take the death penalty off the table. Excuse me. But y'all are going down in flames in Florida is what they're telling these young people. They tried it with me. They told me, let me ride. They picked me up in New York City, right? And they take me into the police station on December 10th, 1993, and they had a sealed indictment. They told me, we can't open an indictment, but you got a sealed indictment for being a kingpin on a continual criminal enterprise and violating the, Title 21 of United States Code, drug codes. So they said they're going to open up in court tomorrow, but I'm telling you, they're going to fry you. They got a death chamber down there waiting for you in Virginia. You better cooperate. They got a death chamber. This is what they told me. They said they got a death chamber waiting for you in Virginia. I said, you see how black I am? I can stand the heat. You know what I mean? Hey, yo, no lie, right? True story. All this is in my transcripts, man, When my grandkids look back at all the crap that I went through and how I dealt with these people, they're going to be like, damn, my grandpa was a straight gangster. They told me they had a death penalty for me, a death chamber, a gas chamber for me in Virginia. And they was going to electrocute me because they got an electrocution chamber and all this crap, right? I said, you see how black I am? Do I look like I'm scared of the heat? I can stand the heat. I've been walking with the devil since I was born, man. You know, they say, oh man, get his black ass out of here. So they take me downtown to, MDC, the Metropolitan Detention Center, and they booked me, put me through the crap, and then sent me through the system. But now let's ride back to Julio Foolio and his alleged killers. Now, the two men, right? The two men that's at large, one was apprehended. I don't know if the second was, so y'all got to fill me in, because you know the rat bastards will be quick to say, oh, you said they only got one, but they got two. Well, you keep up with that crap. All right? Right now, I know about four, So now, they got them two. If you notice, they didn't charge them with anything. They just said they wanted for murder. Because what they do when they pick you up is everything that come out your mouth, they use it against you, and that's how they pick the charges to move forward. So that's why I'm telling you, don't get caught up in this. Get out the game, get out the street. It's not worth it. Look how easy it was. These young men looked at like professional hitmen on that 4K videotape at the Holiday Inn over there in Tampa. They had the gun cocked. I mean, nothing but gunshots. And then they get picked up, apprehended without an incident. And now they got alleged statements, that informed them that Alicia and Isaiah was in the house with a baby, and that's where they was holding up at, and that, Sean Garthright tampered with evidence. They didn't have nothing about no tampering with evidence from looking at the same videos we looked at. So we know someone told them that. And that's why I said you have to learn to shut the F up. I got the shirts. I don't have one near me, I don't think. Now, but I got the shirts. Look down at the link at my store. I got the Fourth Amendment. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you can will be said against you in a court of law, used against you in a court of law. So just shut the F up. Those are the shut the F up shirts. Make sure you cop one and give it to somebody that just won't shut up. You know what I mean? Or give it to somebody that's in the street that need to know or learn to shut up. So don't say I didn't tell you. Now, they track Foolio using cell phones, like I said before, from Jacksonville to Tampa. Every single phone call that was made within that, especially that night of the incident. Anybody that, listen, this to all of y'all down there in Jacksonville and Tampa. Anybody that these young people called on their cell phone, the feds are coming to investigate you and get a statement and find out what you know. If you got a record, if you're affiliated with a gang, you definitely going down, and this going to be an overall conspiracy. But right now, they just worrying about the murder of Julio Foolio, because it happened in a nice suburban area like Tampa that these people, what they call it, retired in. This is a retirement state. You know what I mean? And of course, you have people that work for these retirees, and those people have children, such as what we see on the street. And that's why they're in the community. And that's why he's making a big thing that I have to get them off the community. You know what I mean? Got to get them out of the community. But anyone that these people called on the phone is going down. First, they're going to worry about the conspiracy and to the murder and the murder. Now, when they all get him in there and they all start talking this and that, and they all, because, when people start talking, you say things, don't even know what you're saying. That's why it's not good to be a singer, because you never know what you're going to sing about. It's not good to even be a rapper, because you never know what you're going to rap about unless you're conscious. You know what I mean? And that's what I want y'all to understand, that this is no joke. Anyone that they call, they're going to bring in. Anyone they called, they bring it in. And if they got a record, if they're a part of that either gang, they're going to get charged, and they're coming with a RICO charge. These murders, even after they're solved in the state of Tampa, and, tried and convicted or not convicted, innocent or whatever, after they're done with the Tampa situation, you're going to see these same charges be used in a RICO indictment against all of these people's associates and friends from Jacksonville, and they're going to use this to clean up the streets of Jacksonville. So let me tell you this, because we like to ride over here. I'm going to ride with you. Let me ride. Let me tell you this. It don't matter if you're with this gang or that gang or his gang or her gang. If you're in Jacksonville and you got any communication or contact or even hustle or hang out on the same corner as any one of these gang members, expect to have your names on that indictment. Expect to have them pick you up and call you what they call and label a CI, which means confidential informant. They're going to tell them, we're not going to charge you. We just want to know what the D3 do when they come out. We want to know who's selling drugs. We want to know who's calling the shots. We want to know who's doing the hits. We want to know this. We want to know that. And we're not going to charge you. And they're going to sing like a canary. If they don't sing, they put them on the indictment. Let me ride one last time before I go. But before I ride, I need 300 subscribers to get that 100,000. Let's get this thing popping. Hit the thumbs up. You already know the Cash App. Make sure you hit the logo. And it says that the account was created in 2020, period. Created in 2020 or don't send a dime. Now, so you understand. When they pick me up on my case, right? That's why I'm talking from experience. I'm all the way in New York, allegedly selling drugs out of my brother in Virginia, and then he's down there in Virginia selling it to different people in Virginia. He went on this one block that they had a murder. They wanted to clean up that block because of the murder, and the people on that block said they brought drugs for my brother. Next thing you know, they put my brother on an indictment with them, put my brother at the top of the indictment, said that he was their leader. He was the one that was supplying them with drugs when all they did was buy the drugs. He sold the drugs. They distributed the drugs. He didn't tell them what to do, how to do, where to sell it, or how to package it or nothing. They just came with their little 20,000 and said, give me my X amount of drugs. And they got their drugs. They did their thing. But now they got my brother as the leader. And then here goes the catcher. I'm all the way in New York, partying at Club 2000. I'm doing me. I'm at Mecca Audio. I'm chilling with Brand Newbie and Jodeci, Heavy D, Tupac. I'm living my life. And they come and pick me up and say, you sent the drugs to your brother. Your brother distributed it on 17th Street, right down there in Newport News. That's where they tried to get it from. And he had all these workers down there, and you controlled your brother, and your brother controlled them. You know what I mean? I said, yo, my brother just bought the drugs for me. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? I didn't even have to say that. The lead agent, because like I said, and you check my testimony, you check my statements. I never said a statement, never talked to my prosecutor, never said nothing. You know what I mean? But this is me talking to my lawyer, because you rat bastards were quick to say, oh, he said this. No, I told my lawyer straight up, yo, I don't know none of them people. I never sold them a gram of coke in my life, never dealt with them. I don't know none of them. And my brother bought the drugs for me, Mr. Lawyer. You know what I mean? So I know you could use that. That's a buy and sell relationship. He spent his money the same way I went in the store to go buy Arm & Hammer baking soda by the boxes, 50 boxes at a time. They're not charging Arm & Hammer for being my co-defendant, for giving me the baking soda to cook my crack cocaine. So why are they charging me for my brother taking the powder cocaine he bought for me to cook it up with the Arm & Hammer? Y'all don't understand that, though. That's a little too deep for y'all. You know what I mean? Now, make sure you become a member. I'm going to start putting up videos that YouTube feel, is not qualified for YouTube. I'm going to start putting them over there first on the members-only pages. So go to the members-only pages. I got my birthday videos and some other stuff I'm going to put up at the members-only video. We're going to turn the members-only up because I really want to talk like I want without having to worry about this YouTube stuff over the members-only. You ain't got to worry about the monetization and all that, striking and all that. I could just throw it up there. So that's what we're going to do. And I got the Patreon that I'm going to start up in a minute, but I don't know if y'all ready for that yet because that gets real raw. But like I said, that's where we at, man. So I've been on here long enough. Let me tap out. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. We at 99,794. Let me see where we at. I got the computer in front of me. Hold up. Right? I'm going to tell you exactly where we at right now. We at, I just refreshed the screen. All right. Yeah, we at 99,798 as of this moment. And what I need you to do is hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. If you're already subscribed, hit the notification bell. If you just up, so that's where we at. Let me bring this back over here. All right. So the ending is messing up. So I'm going to just get off and quit while I'm ahead. just seen the mouse. But like I said, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Hit the notification bell. Been on it long enough. Apologize for the ending. That's just the way shit happens. All right.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
Fresh out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a raw in Uptown. They be horn Uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend an ear. He started in Uptown, he gon' finish there. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours.